She inspires us. She inspires us because when she had to leave her home and hearth and everything, she still clung on to hope. She inspires us because when asked to make that difficult choice of giving up her present to ensure a community's future, she took the option without blinking an eyelid. She inspires us because not only did she take care of the young ones, but also ensured that the older folks undergoing trauma were taken care of. She inspires us because she chose to absorb the trauma of uprooting and persecution and let it all manifest through extreme diseases caused by stress, which still ail her after 30 years, but she still moved on relentlessly. She inspires us because even as she was living in a 2, 3 bedroom house, in a tent, even if she was living in a rented accommodation with many members of the clan there in the same accommodation, she not only ensured that they were well looked after, but she also went out to contribute to the financial upkeep of the family. She inspires us because she chose to forget her grief and completely devote herself to the upbringing of her children as responsible human beings who grew up to become positively contributing members of the society. She inspires us because even till today, she hasn't had the time to look back, reflect, and talk about all she endured just to make sure that the community did not get lost. I'm talking about the women of the Kashmiri Pandit Hindu community. My mother's generation, her mother's generation, her grandmother's generation, and older women. These women who in 1990, when the Kashmiri Pandit persecution occurred, what happened to them hardly gets talked about. How they coped up and how they definitely, positively, substantially contributed towards raising a generation of citizens who are making a positive difference in this world. It is important that we keep talking about how she inspired us, how this woman of the Kashmiri Pandit Hindu community inspired us, especially in this day and age, especially when we are seeing supposed victims indoctrinating their children, especially when we see mothers taking pride in poisoning their infants, toddlers, preteens, when they are teaching them murderous slogans and supplying them with stones to throw at not just fellow citizens but also at the police. She inspires us, the Kashmiri Pandit Hindu woman, who has set an example of how one can circumvent the odds and win without vitiating the future. She inspires us. She will keep inspiring us. May her example be known all across the globe, and may her example be shared with especially those people for whom victimhood and entitlement has become the mainstay. What happens to you cannot be controlled by you in many circumstances. What you choose to do with what happens with you is what defines whether she will inspire or not. It is high time that the world talks about how women can help in creating a future that does not rise, that is not raised in victimhood and entitlement, but that a future that is raised and brought up in a manner that they ensure that something of the sort that has happened to them does not recur. And they do it through a positive example, not through stone pelting, not through murder slogans. She inspires us. May she continue to inspire us all through. Namaste.